The Shark Deck.
Busy one again today. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Before I tell you about Chappelle's 50th birthday, I just recorded Saturday's episode. I've been sitting on an article the AV Club did, the 30 best stand-up specials of all time, and I just went through it cold without pre-reading it. I didn't react well to it at all. You'll hear that on Saturday. I'd be curious as to what your list is. The front half of the list, I was like, yeah, good pick, good pick, good pick. And then I got to about 2005 and I was like, what? Dave Chappelle celebrated his 50th birthday several ways Friday night at the Comedy Cellar. He had a private party and the Comedy Cellar doesn't close for too many people. Guests included Angela Bassett, John Hamm, Chance the Rapper, T.I., Justin Timberlake, Chris Rock, Andrew Schultz, Michelle Wolf, Aziz Ansari, Donnell Rawlings, and Jeff Ross. Wow, then on Saturday night, Chappelle played Madison Square Garden once again. During the week, various guests included Chris Rock, Jon Stewart, Aziz Ansari, Nas, Ludacris, Travis Scott, and Burna Boy. Saturday included John Mayer, Busta Rhymes, Common, T.I., and Pete Davidson. Also hitting the stage, Michael Che, Ronnie Chang, Michelle Wolf, Jeff Ross, Mike Tyson was in the audience. Chappelle also honored the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, so Common, T.I., and Busta Rhymes performed their well-known hits. Dave is on the It's a Celebration, Bitches tour, which will visit Cleveland, Detroit, New Orleans, Nashville, Chicago, and Kansas City. Steve Harvey apparently fired the social media team. They did some social media that didn't go over so well. Steve Harvey's account tweeted, "Name a comedian you don't find funny at all." Steve says he's got official social media people handling his accounts. He insists it wasn't him who posted it. He lamented the tweet as mean-spirited and downright negative. A screenshot of the deleted tweet shows it was viewed at least 1 million times. Steve says the explanation he got from his handlers was they were just trying to get some engagement, but he adds they're going to be needing some new employment now. Good thing I didn't see it, because if he had tweeted, name a comedian you don't find funny at all, I might have responded with somebody totally unrelated to that. Adam Sandler. I'm mugging for the camera, even though it's an audio-only podcast. Adam Sandler acknowledged the passing of Bob Barker. In his social media post, Adam Sandler wrote, "The man, the myth, the best, such a sweet, funny guy to hang out with. Love talking to him, love laughing with him, loved him kicking the crap out of me. He'll be missed by everybody I know. Heartbreaking day. Love to Bob always and his family. Thanks for all you gave us." Rob Schneider chimed in, writing, "One of the nicest things I ever heard in show business was Bob Barker saying, 'I moved to Hollywood to be an actor, and the only person who ever let me do it was Adam Sandler.'" Drew Carey wrote, "Very sad day for the Price is Right family and animal lovers all over the world. There hasn't been a day on the set that I didn't think of Bob Barker and thank him. I will carry his memory in my heart forever." If you're vaguely my age, anybody vaguely my age, The Price is Right was the thing you watched when you were home from school back in the days of 5 channels. So if you're, I don't know, between 35 and 60, you probably watched a lot of Bob Barker. Michelle Wolf's special It's Great to Be Here coming out on September 12th. She has self-financed, produced it, and licensed it herself like a lot of comedians are doing. Michelle said, "I want to do something different than a traditional special and make something on my own terms. It's hard to convince the industry to give you money to do something new, so I made it on my own. Hopes I'd be able to sell it. I shot 8 episodes, and we ended up with 5 of them combined into 3. Sounds complicated. Don't think about it. Just watch. I'm hoping people like this short, digestible format. If so, I have 3 episodes in the vault and more ready to tape. I'd like to develop more stand-up series. Hopefully I'll get a chance. We're seeing stand-ups make their own specials more and more. Funny people might not be getting a chance or giving themselves a chance, and good for them and comedy and you who watch comedy. I think doing these episodes is a fun way to frame stand-up. An hour can be really great, but sometimes you have 15 minutes that feels like it stands by itself, and I think it should be able to live like that without trying to horseshoe it into a format that doesn't serve the material for the sake of a format that's already arbitrary to begin with. I can do an hour, and I appreciate an hour, but why not try something new?" Maria Bamford has a book out. It's called Sure, I'll Join Your Cult. She spoke to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune before they got to the book. They asked her, "Hey, it's state fair time in Minnesota. Any tips for fairgoers?" Maria said, "Don't work as a costume character. I auditioned to be Gedney, the Minnesota Pickle. I got a call back, and I have to tell you, the pickles from prior seasons had tales to tell. It's 125 degrees in that pickle costume, and because now you seem like an object, people will chase you. It's dangerous. You got to run back to your Kia Rio and hope they lose interest in chasing you in your costume because you can't take it off and lose the mystery." As for the book, who was the ideal reader? Maria Bamford said, "I think it was me. I hoped it would be funny. I tried to make myself laugh, and sometimes I lost my own interest in the writing of the book. Hopefully you can't tell what those parts are. It's very quiet when you're tip typing by yourself. It's no fun. I really like a live crowd, so I had to get some needs met by having friends listen to me read it out loud to see what worked. The added cash I provided created a power struggle where they felt uncomfortable if they didn't laugh. Fear makes people laugh, it turns out. Sure, I'll Join Your Cult by Maria Bamford. 288 pages, $28.99. If you're in Denver tonight, The State is reuniting at the Paramount Theater. It's the start of their 4-date Breaking Hearts and Dippin' Balls tour. It's tonight and then 3 shows in October in New York. That's kind of a weird tour. It celebrates the 30th anniversary of the MTV series debut. 8 members, the original 11-person group, are back. David Wayne said, in the 90s, it was harder to get together. We were waiting for Zoom to be popular. Thomas Lennon talked about how tight the group is and said, in my life, I've been in the emergency room 3 times, and twice I was taken or carried by Ken Marino. Marino asked, wait, who was the other person that took you to the hospital? Lennon said, it's my wife, Ken, my wife. Over the weekend, Tiffany Haddish jumped on the TV and did the weather. She was on KTLA doing the weather. Now, again, this is from a few days ago. Please don't take this to be an actual weather forecast. It's just Johnny Mac recapping a story. Tiffany Haddish said, in the valleys, the wind will be blowing strong, so tape your wig down, hunker down, because it'll fly off. The coastal areas will experience very moderate temperatures. It's looking to be a beautiful, beautiful week. Make sure your air conditioner is on point and you have ice water near you, and stay hydrated. It's going to get hot, but it'll cool down at night. You know, California, it's cold at night. As for the desert forecast, well, tomorrow and the rest of the week, it's going to go up, y'all. But get ready, because on Friday, it's going to be one of those summer rains where it's going to be hot, but it's also going to rain at the same time, so you can wear a 2-piece in the rain. Kathy Griffin showed off her dramatically swollen lips. What happened? She got them tattooed during a cosmetic procedure called blushing. She posted on YouTube, I'm effed, look at me. Her friend asked if Griffin's lips were real. Griffin's husband let out an audible S-word when he saw the aftermath of the procedure. Kathy said, it's a little swollen. From the CBC, I love this one. A Quebec bar added a woman after being called out for all-male comedy lineup, but turns out she doesn't exist. Montreal comedians Emma Achour and Coralie Lapierre have an Instagram account, which is called No Girls in the Lineup, and they call out gender inequality in Quebec comedy. Achour said, we did it as an answer to us being told that we exaggerate when we say, it's a problem, guys, let's try to book more women. And people are like, nah, it doesn't happen. So we started this page to be like, here are the receipts. So they started calling out bars, one of them Les Troquets in Gatineau, Quebec. They have a comedy night every Thursday, often spotlighting only male performers. So in June, Les Troquets started promoting a comic named Sonia Belanger, who started showing up in the lineup every week. But it turns out she doesn't exist and was created by AI. So the Instagram page, No Girls in the Lineup, called them out again and said, it's crazy how much effort goes into just not booking a female comedian. Hats off to you. Really, slow clap. The guy who runs the club said, that page often mentioned us, painted us as misogynists, as if we weren't making any effort. So in response to their joke of associating us with this type of management, we responded with the joke of creating this comedian from scratch. Every week, they promote Sonia Belanger, and then her performance is canceled at the start of every show, and most of our clientele knows it's a running joke. I can see both sides of this. I get the point of No Girls in the Lineup, but I also think the fake comedian being canceled every week just to mess with them back is sort of funny. Maybe I'm just a jerk. And that's your comedy news for today. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your shows. Book comedians of all genders, will ya? But having a fake comedian in the lineup is kind of funny. See you tomorrow.